Hello there, welcome to the channel, welcome back perhaps too. We are here on a lovely Tokyo spring afternoon, first sun for a couple of days, and we have a little idea that we want to try out with the NightSky, namely the sustain setting that we've been working on, which is basically how we're making do with our sustain envy at the moment. This is something that you can hear on the last few videos, the making of Cyborg, the stuff from Nam Nam. So we had an idea about how we might be able to make the sustain more interesting. This is kind of like the beginning of something, because what we are hoping to do is to take this basic setup that we've got and create some variations on it. But first of all, what I want to establish is the basic the basic setup, which we've already done a fair bit of work on. We're quite happy with where things are in terms of the size pitch knob and the length. These guys are pretty good. The volume balance as well, the filter cutting. What we're going to be using for our different settings are going to be the mod functions, and we're going to be putting different things in the morph setting as well. We don't have any ideas necessarily for the sequence part of the pedal yet, but maybe we'll come to that another time. But what we wanted to do first was have a look at this, the shimmer. So the idea that occurred to us is that usually we use shimmer up the octave. Upper fifth, upper fourth can be nice for like Lydian vibe stuff, or just like general quartal harmony kind of stuff. Second, we'll probably go through these with a sample. Like second tends to be like the, what do they call it, Rainbow Machine, that Earthquaker Devices pedal. That can be very nice. Up the octave, traditional kind of shimmer reverb. Now, one of the reasons this occurred to us is because the way that we have the length and the size pitch knob set up, this is where the shimmer with length high and size pitch low, this is where shimmer is at its most effective in this pedal when it's in the regenerative mode. Input is a simple input up the octave or upper fifth or whatever. It doesn't evolve, but in the regenerative mode, that pitch piles up on top of itself. So let's have a listen, and we'll start with just like a basic octave up. And the idea that we are moving towards exploring here is actually having the shimmer in unison and seeing how that sounds. So in other words, having some kind of like generative unison and seeing what effect that has on the setting as a whole. So our sample that we've got is the lowest note on the contrabass. We've got the volume here with the sampler. There we go. That's that. And here's how it sounds with the setting as it currently is. Yeah, I really love that metallic kind of sound, and the distortion, the drive that we've got in there, the post drive, which adds such lovely texture to it. I can never resist. Let's put that all the way up. I mean, that's lovely too. I believe we had it somewhere around the 3 or 4 o'clock mark. I'm going to stick it at 3. Let's see. Yeah, that seems subtle enough. Let's try it at 4 just as a little point of comparison. Yeah, that's really nice too. Now, we do get those overtones there, that kind of ringing overtone there, which is, I must admit, not ideal, but it is part of this kind of metallic space that we're creating for this sustain sound. So 4 o'clock versus 3 o'clock. Yeah, maybe it would be more noticeable in higher octaves, but I tend to go for 4. That bit of roughness there. Okay, so the shimmer. Let's turn it up there. We're going to do an octave up shimmer. And we've got the volume. Let's put it a bit higher up and put it up at like 2 there. And here's how that sounds. Pretty intense. Let's have another shot. Okay, well, I'm going to try and do this a bit better justice and switch to a different sample. This is the upper mids sample that we've been using for tone sculpting, tone development. So this kind of thing. And you can hear that's pretty intense on the... I mean, even with the high cut. Yeah. So I don't know. I think that the lowest note there did give us a little bit of a good comparison, a good result. So we're going to go back to that and use that as our bass sample for now. So here it is with the octave again. And then with a fifth. There we go, that seems to have lined up. Oof, that's very nice. Fourth. That's really lovely. That's an effect I think we would like to use sometime, huh? Yeah, it's horror movie kind of stuff there, isn't it? And second. Yeah, you can hear that. Rainbow Machine vibe there for sure, can't you? Yeah, beautiful. For my own enjoyment and hopefully our mutual edification, I am quite curious to try those ones again with the higher octave. Lovely. Ooh, those twinkling tones at the end there, very nice. Here we go with the fourth. very nice. And second. Yeah. Oh, love it. Yeah, I think of those, fourth is actually my favorite, just for the spoopiness of it all. Yeah, there's something otherworldly about that. Tell you what, one more thing I'm going to do while we've got this here is I'm going to turn on the dry signal. While we've got this sample, we're just going to see how we feel about that post-drive setting at 4 o'clock. So, shimmer off as well. Well, that's all the way up. That's at 3. Here we go. Yeah, I do think we want more than that. Put it at 4. There we go. I think that's where things start to get nice, and then all the way up. Yeah, it just pushes it a little bit too much. Okay, we're happy with that at 4 o'clock-ish. There we go. Okay. In that case, that brings us back to the shimmer and the point of being here, which is the unison shimmer. We saw how the shimmer develops. So one more time, this is with plus a second. Plus a fourth. Plus a fifth. And then, what about plus unison? What about when we turn the shimmer off, just as a comparison? Yeah, it's actually cleaner without it. So I mean, what unison shimmer seems to offer us is some kind of extra ghostliness. If we pump it all the way up. I mean, it's certainly interesting. It's certainly a valid effect, but let's do a comparison again. Very interesting. I mean, that might be a lovely effect in itself. I don't know if I would want it on all the time, though. and then with no shimmer. Yeah. Well, I think that, you know, if we're looking at a rough little conclusion here, I don't think that we want that, I don't think that we need any regenerative unison shimmer there. I mean, let's, as a little experiment, just put it to input. And basically what we get then is, without the regeneration, it's basically almost like just adding in an octave above. So, for example, let's put the shimmer up. It's just the added octave. Just the added fifth. See, there's no regeneration in it. I mean, that's I love that effect. I mean, that's a valid and beautiful thing. Yeah. But let's put it at unison. Yeah, I don't think we're really getting anything there. Okay, we'll do one more little comparison. Yeah, I don't think we're getting anything by using an input unison there. The regenerative was interesting, and I want that to be the basic default, but we are not going to use that for the standard sound. Let's go back to the original setting that we were using, the original sample, which was that low C on the contrabass. And see if unison shimmer gives us anything here. I mean, it definitely does something, doesn't it? Oof. I mean, compare that with unison octave. It's actually quite a nice effect, isn't it? I mean, it's definitely like an ambient, like a dark ambient vibe. That might be great for an intro to a song or something like that. Okay. Well, I mean, Unison Regenerative Shimmer is not going to be a regular part of the setup, but it is going to be a valuable effect that we can add in at some point, along with, you know, maybe sometime we'll want that whole rainbow machine thing, or the fourth thing was particularly appealing. I mean, even the octave up had a really great intensity to it. So what we are planning to do now is store this setup into the memory banks of the machine, and make some kind of bank that we can then make variations on. So yeah, those will be, I think, more variations on the morph setting, so ways of moving away from the basic setting. But it's all very exciting. Looking forward to working on that. Now to return to the Strymon NightSky manual and see if I can remember how to install some setups here, some settings. Hope this was interesting for you too, and thank you for sticking around. Stay well.